Hey everybody, it's the Social Solipsist, and this is the first time I'm going to do sort of a vlog type thing. What I have in front of me here is something I received in the mail today. This is the OUYA. For those of you who don't know, this was the Android console that was put up on Kickstarter and got discussed a lot and blah blah blah. I'd like to start by saying when I bought this thing, I knew I wasn't going to get a game console, if you know what I mean. I shelled out $100 for it. So, what can I possibly expect from it? So the reason I did buy it, despite that, was because there's a lot of support for it in terms of people developing alternative operating systems and whatnot for it, including XBMC, for those of you who are familiar with that, as a media player, and various other things like that. And you can root it without voiding the warranty. So that's kind of cool, and I figure I got my $100 worth just by getting an XBMC box. So I decided to buy it, and now the first one shipped in March. It's now June 7th, I think, and I just got mine today. So yeah, their shipping schedule is not great. Anyway, I'm gonna do a quick unboxing. The box says OUYA on it, and you take off the top. Thank you for believing. It's this weird plasticky thing. I'm not entirely sure why they made it plastic, not paper. Anyway, and then here you go. That's really it. It's the controller and the console here, and as you can tell, the console's really small. It's about 3 inches by 3 inches by 3 inches all around, and it can be opened up just by the 6 hex screws in the top. I haven't really unpacked this much. There's probably stuff underneath. Yeah, there's stuff underneath there. I'll get to that at some other point. But anyway, there's that. So the controller actually works off Bluetooth. It syncs up like that, and I've actually tested it with my phone. It syncs to my phone like instantly, so I can play games on my phone. So that's no hassle. But I would like to go into this a little bit. Like I said, this was $100, so what can I complain about? I actually got one with 2 controllers. So I want to talk about kind of the build quality of the controller, just because that's the only thing I've really had hands-on with. And I'm sure I'll put out more videos in the future. So this is the controller, and it's got its ups and downs. To start with, the shape is actually, despite what it looks like, it looks really funky, and when they unveiled it I was like, ew, that doesn't look like it's going to be comfortable, but it actually really is. The way you end up holding it, at least for me, is really nice, because it puts, your thumb right here, whereas with the 360, 360 controller, it's a little lower, so you end up a little lower. These wings are angled down a little bit. What else? Okay, the joysticks feel good. Not quite as good as, you might expect from a 360 or PS3 controller. The bumpers feel good. The triggers, not so much. I'm going to be quiet and have you listen to this for a second. I'm not sure if that's coming through in the video, but it just sounds cheap, and it feels even cheaper. It's not great. It's actually pretty poor. Moving on to the D-pad. The D-pad is definitely the worst part. There's no way to explain how shitty this feels. It feels like I don't even know. I don't know how to explain it. It just doesn't. There's no resistance to the buttons at all. It's just floppy. But both the joysticks feel good. The buttons are a little wobbly. They're but they work. There were some initial worries that the buttons might stick underneath the casing, but I guess they solved that. I guess I'll show you how. This is the power button here, down at the bottom. It's recessed So it doesn't actually, it's not like the 360 where you've got it up here and it sticks out and gets pressed by things. So you press it, and there it goes, trying to sync. And if it doesn't find anything, it just turns itself off, which is great, versus, you know, the 360 control that you have to take the batteries out of every time you want to turn it off. This is actually up here, I can't show you right now, but it's actually a touchpad, and I've tried it on my phone, like I was saying before, and it actually puts a little mouse on the screen, and it works quite well. So that I'm impressed with. Let's see. Going back to the triggers for just a second, I want to show you just how poor the triggers are, and it's really confusing to me why this is so hit and miss, because some of it's great and some of it's not. And I understand they had to cut corners to cut costs somewhere, but I don't know. I wish they had balanced it a little more. I discovered this just today. If I press down the right trigger long enough, it just sticks. Let me see if I can show this a little better. It's just stuck because of the way the plastic is molded, and it pops back out. I mean, but if you push it all the way in, it often sticks in there. So that's a bit of a worry. I might talk to the OUYA guys and see if they'll send me a different one, because that is clearly a manufacturer's defect. What else? I guess, let me see if I can get the face plates off. It does have these, excuse me, it does have these removable face plates, which is actually how you get to the batteries. Let me see. So there's the batteries, and that is an interesting way of saving space. I'm assuming this doesn't have vibration, just because, you know, that's usually where the motors would go. But it is a nice way to save space and, you know, put a little more heft in the handles versus up at the top. So, and these faceplates are actually really nice. This is what confuses me. It's like these are really nice quality. It would seem to be metal. I believe it's metal. And then with a plastic backing, and they both feel solid. It has no flex to it or anything like that. And they pop on and off quite easily. Or I shouldn't say quite easily, but without too much effort and without the feeling that they're going to just fall off, which was another concern. So, yeah, I guess that's the controller. That's the controller in the box, and I'm sure I'll get to looking at it in the future. I'll plug it into my capture card and give you guys a show of what it looks like, and we'll see how it evolves, because I'm sure it will with time. Anyway, I guess that's about it. This has been the Social Solipsist. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, you know, subscribe or like it or whatever you want to do. You know, helps out one way or another. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.